So till now we had studied about both the syntax world, semantics world, and in the last lecture we saw that how the models belong to the semantic world. Okay, so we also saw that how including a new formula imposes restrictions on our models. Okay, so these things we saw in the last lecture. Now see what happens basically if I again draw this. This is syntax land and this is from semantics world. So what happens ki, let us say if I'm having few formulas, that is f1, f2, f3. Okay, so these are some formulas that are given to us. Okay, and then these all things will be having a corresponding model in the semantic world. Okay, so this is corresponding to m of f1. Now for this it may be something like this, m of f2, and then for f3 it may be something like this. Okay, this is m of f3. So now the kb, what was the kb? The kb was basically the intersection point of all of these three, right? So I think this region here is the intersection point of all of these three, and this we said that this is our kb. Okay, so this we were saying that this particular part is our kb. This particular part is our model of kb. Okay, and here these all three constituted what? These all three constituted kb in the syntax line, and that was the model of kb. So now let us say we are going to derive a new formula from this. We are going to infer a new formula from this, and that is g. हम इन तीन फार्मूला की मदद से एक नया फार्मूला इन्फर कर पा रहे हैं, and this g is having a separate model here. Okay, let us say this g is having a separate model here like this. So this is corresponding to g, and this we will name as m of g. Okay, so here how we are going to infer this g, ये g जो formula है ये कैसे हम infer करेंगे? So we will see some inference rule for this. Okay, so the first inference rule that we will see is Modus Ponens. Okay, so let us move ahead. And let us see that, okay, before this we should have one thing, that models of kb. Okay, models of kb, when do we say that kb entails g? When do we say that kb entails g? So for that part, what we saw that model of kb must be a subset of model of g. This thing we have learnt already, right? So this was the part when we say that this is entailing that. Okay, so from the formula f1 till f3 we can infer a new formula g using some syntactic rules. This was derived using some syntactic rules, or we call it inference rules. Inference rules. Okay, now coming to the next part, that is Modus Ponens. So for Modus Ponens, now coming to the next part, that is Modus Ponens. So let us take some example, like it is raining. Okay, this is given to us, it is raining. So that means in my kb or in my knowledge base I have this part that it is raining. In my knowledge base it is updated, or it is having that it is raining. Now let us, we are also given that if it is raining, if it is raining, then it is wet, then it is wet. That means we are given that rain implies wet. This thing is also given to us. Okay, then we can conclude from here, that it is wet. Okay, this is what modus ponens says basically. So the formula for modus ponens, here how we will write it, that it is given that rain, it is given to us rain, and then it is also given to us that rain implies wet. Okay, then what we are doing is we are deriving the conclusion that it is wet. So what we say is these things are collectively known as premises, and this what we are deriving is known as conclusion, right? So now we are in a position to write the modus ponens inference rule. Modus ponens inference rule. So what it says is for any propositional symbol P and Q, for any propositional symbol P and Q, given P and then given P implies Q, then that means we can derive the conclusion that this is that Q is true. Okay, so this is what modus ponens says. Given P and given P implies Q, we can derive Q. Now coming to a general inference framework. Okay, so this was one of the rules. This was nothing but one of the inference rules. So in general, how the inference rules will look like. Okay, so inference framework. ये एक स्पेसिफिक इन्फ्रेंस रूल है, बट इन जनरल जो अगर हम देखेंगे किसी भी टाइप के इन्फ्रेंस रूल का, तो उनका क्या फॉर्मेट होगा. तो इफ़ F1, F2 likewise till Fk and G are formulas. Here we are taking that G is the derived formula. Okay, then following is an inference rule. Following is an inference rule. And what is it? It is F1 till Fk and the conclusion is G. Okay, so this is what is meant by inference frameworks. Now let us see inference algorithm. Okay, so the input will be set of inference rules. Okay, this is our input. Now till when we are going to repeat this? Repeat until no changes to kb. Repeat until no changes to kb. Kb is what? Kb is our knowledge base. Okay, so we have to repeat this until there is no changes to kb. Now what we have to repeat, it will be written here. So first of all, choose set of formulas. F1, F2 till Fk, and they all should come from where? They all should come from kb, that is, they belongs to kb. Now if a matching rule is found, matching inference rule F1, F2, Fk and this gives me the conclusion of G is found, or this exists, then we have find out that G is our new rule. So what we will do, we will add G to KB. Okay, that means I have found a new inference rule, so I will add this to it, and this will run until no new formula is derived. Okay, so that is written here, that until no change to KB. So this will run until no new formula is derived, until no new formula is derived. Okay, so what we started, हमने स्टार्ट किया सेट ऑफ इन्फेरेंस रूल से, ठीक है। उस इन्फेरेंस रूल पे हमने अब मैचिंग रूल फाइंड किया। कैसा मैचिंग रूल, जहाँ पे कुछ F1 टू F के हम ले रहे हैं जो KB को बिलोंग करते हैं, तो उससे एक G निकल के आ रहा हो, और अगर G हमारा एक मैचिंग रूल है ऐसा, यानी जिससे F1 टू F के अगर इनपुट दे रहे हैं तो G निकल रहा है, तो फिर हम G को KB में ऐड करेंगे। अगर ऐसा है कि हमें इस टाइप का G नहीं मिल रहा है कोई, तो फिर हम उसे ऐड नहीं करेंगे। अब ये G कैसे पता चलेगा कि ये वैलिड है या नहीं, तो ये पता चलेगा कि अगर ये इसका जो मॉडल है M ऑफ G, इफ़ मॉडल ऑफ KB इंटेल्स मॉडल ऑफ G, अगर वो इंटेल करेगा, देन वी कैन से that is a valid formula, and then we will add G to KB. This we saw na, that if KB entails G, then only we will add it. So now moving forward, as जैसा हमने देखा था इंटेल्स है ना, वैसे ही एक डेफिनेशन हम लेते हैं कि अगर सिंटैक्स वर्ल्ड में उसके कॉरस्पॉन्डिंग क्या होता है। जैसे सिमेंटिक वर्ल्ड में देयर वाज अ टर्म नेम्ड एज इंटेल। सो डेफिनेशन ऑफ व्हाट, डेरिवेशन, हम डिफाइन करने जा रहे हैं एक टर्म जो सिंटैक्टिक वर्ल्ड में सिमेंटिक के कॉरस्पॉन्डिंग होता है। दैट मीन्स वी से KB derives or proves, KB derives or proves formula F, ठीक है, formula F। दैट मीन्स मैं क्या कर रहा हूँ बेसिकली, KB, दिस इज द सिंबल, ओके, दिस इज द सिंबल फॉर derives। तो KB derives or proves F if and only if and only if F eventually gets added to KB. Okay, so if F gets added to KB, then only we can say that F derives or proves it. Okay, so now as we said कि जैसे G है हमारा, ठीक है, जैसे G that I am deriving, so if model of KB is a subset of model of G, तो हम क्या बोलते हैं कि model of what I say is KB entails G, and then here we can say that KB infers G। तो ये सॉरी, KB infers G। so this is happening in the, ये कहाँ पे हो रहा है ये चीज़ हो रहा है सिंटैक्स वर्ल्ड में, सिंटैक्स वर्ल्ड में दिस इज हैपनिंग, एंड वेयर दिस इज हैपनिंग इन सिमेंटिक वर्ल्ड, ठीक है। दिस वाज ऑल अबाउट दिस पार्ट, दैट व्हाट इज डेरिवेशन, ये तो हम समझ गए। नाउ एक चीज़ और देखते हैं, डेसिडेराटा मीन्स थिंग्स दैट आर डिजायर्ड। ओके, इसका मतलब क्या होता है कि थिंग्स दैट आर डिजायर्ड, डेसिडेराटा फॉर inference rules, rules. ओके, सो दो चीज़ है, पहला क्या कि इंटरप्रिटेशन डिफाइंस इंटेलमेंट, और सिमेंटिक्स वर्ल्ड में क्या होना चाहिए, सिमेंटिक्स वर्ल्ड में होना चाहिए कि व्हाट शुड बी देयर इन सिमेंटिक्स वर्ल्ड, सिमेंटिक्स वर्ल्ड में होना चाहिए के बी entails f. Okay, this should happen in semantic world. And then in the syntax world it should be kb derives f. Okay, now our main purpose is how this relates to this, how this relates to this we will see. So this is happening basically in syntactic one. So now we will see in the next lecture two concepts, that are soundness and completeness. Okay, so we will see that what they mean, and is our inference rule, that is modus ponens, sound and complete. So please do like the video, follow and subscribe. Thank you.